Good evening, students. Today we will discuss about the analysis session.
Hello,
of-
Kalpana ma'am. Share your
Hello.
PPT on screen.
Yes, ma'am.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Can you start?
I have already, yes. Good evening, students. Today we will discuss about the analysis of our fourth prelim paper. That is our fourth practice paper of Science and Technology paper 1. So let us start with our today's session. So myself Kalpana Jadhav from Sarkar Nagar Secondary School, and this is our science paper 1. So practice paper science, science and technology part 1. It consists of 40. It is having the marks, that is 40 marks, and for the 2 hours. So in the first page of our question paper consists of some instructions. So let us move ahead about the some instructions. That is, first instruction is all questions are compulsory. The science and technology part 1 and part 2 carries the 4 questions. All questions are compulsory. Now, second is the scientifically correct label diagram should be drawn whenever necessary. So we have to label it neatly, correctly, and draw with pencil only. Now, third is what is it? Use of calculator is not allowed. Fourth one is the number to the right of the questions indicate full marks. So each question carries marks. So it indicates the full marks. And fifth is in case of MCQs, question number 1A, only the first attempt will be evaluated and will be given ready. Okay. So sixth one is, and last one is, for each MCQ, the correct alternative A, B, C, D with sub questions number is to be written as an answer. So for example, here that MCQ having options, that is it written in capital A, B, C, D. So you have to write only the number, that digit, that letters, that A, it may be A, B, or C, or D. So you have to write only that letters. So don't write the questions, only write the answers. And in MCQ, the correct alternative you have to indicate only in letters. So these are the instructions whatever given in your first page of your question paper. So let us discuss about the question paper. So analysis, where to do the analysis now. So question number 1, we know the science and technology part 1 and part 2 carries 4 questions. So question number 1, question number 2, question number 3, and question number 4. Now these are the main questions, that is first to fourth, these are the main questions. And in first question, it having 2 sub questions, question number 1A and question number 1B. Now question number 1A carries 5 marks, question number 1B carries 5 marks, that is total number of marks, that is 10. So question number 1 carries 10 marks. Okay, so it having sub questions, that is question number 1A and question number 1B. Now this question number 1 is compulsory question. There is no option. So question number 1A that carries 5 marks. So let us discuss about the paper now. This is our practice paper, fourth practice paper. Now first question of this practice paper, that is first question, MCQ is, the density of water is highest at room temperature. So the density of water is highest at the room temperature. Now it having 4 options, that is 0 degrees Celsius, B having 100 degrees Celsius, C having -4 degrees Celsius, and D is nothing but the 4 degrees Celsius. Now we know the density of water is highest at the room temperature, that is the 4 degree Celsius. So answer of this question, that MCQ, is 4 degrees Celsius. So here you have to write only the answer, that is question number 1A. Having first question, that is answer is only D. You have to write only D option. Now next question is what? Second question is what? If Yash used convex lens to draw F1 and F2, which of the following assumptions is correct? So Yash used convex lens. This is convex lens. Now to draw the F1 and F2, so focal length, that is the F1 and F2. So to draw the F1 and F2, which of the following assumption is correct? Now, if focal length F1 and F2 both are the equal, so both having same distance. So he Yash used the convex lens, so to draw the F1 and F2 having the equal distance. So this question having 4 options, that is capital A, that having the F1 is equal to F2. B option, that is F1 is less than the F2. Then third one is F1 is greater than F2. And there is last one is F1 has F2. So right answer is A, F1 is equal to F2. So both having same distance. If Yash use the convex lens to draw F1 and F2, so which assumption is correct? That is F1 is equal to F2. Now student, next question is what? Third question of question number 1A is direction of incident rays and emitted rays as light is refracted from the glass slab dash to each other. Now options are A is vertical, B is parallel, C is non-parallel, and D is piercing. Now student, right answer is B, that is parallel. Now when the incident rays when incident on the glass slab means from the rare medium to denser medium, then it refracted away from the normal, it bends away from the normal. But when the light rays then passes through the denser medium to rare medium, then it refracted away from the normal. First, rare to denser, the refracted ray bends toward the normal, and denser to rare, the refracted ray passes, that is bends away from the normal. So incident rays, when we draw the diagram, we get the incident rays and emitted rays both are the parallel to each other. So direction of incident rays and the emitted rays as the light refracted from the glass slab, these both are the parallel to each other. So right option is B, parallel. Now next is fourth one. This non-metal conducts electricity. Now we know that the metals are the good conductor of electricity, but this non-metal is conduct the electricity. So options are first is A, sulfur, B is chlorine, C is graphite, and D one is iodine. So right answer is C, graphite. So we know our battery cells, we use the graphite. So graphite is the non-metal which conduct the electricity. So right option is C, that is graphite. Now next question is fifth one. Which of the following action is taken to prevent corrosion of green layer due to the corrosion on the brass pot? Now in your question paper there is a wrong option, that is the anodizing. So options are first is coagulation, second is cathodization, C is solubilization and D is anodization. In your question paper, there is an anodization, but the right answer is tinning. So D is tinning. So tinning is what the brass pot is corroded due to the moisture, due to the air. So to prevent that corrosion, the brass pot is coated with the thin layer of tin. Okay, so tinning is the right answer. So D option, that is the tinning, is the right answer of this question. Now, as the question number 1 having the two sub questions, that is the A and B. A carries 5 marks and B carries 5 marks. So A having some alternatives, we have seen that there are the MCQs type of questions. And now next is question 1B. It's is this question also carries the 5 marks. Now let us start with the question number 1B. Solve the following questions. Now here question number 1B. So first question, look at the first question, that is find the odd one out. Now find the odd one out. Question is sodium, here given the sodium, aluminum, chlorine and carbon. So odd one is your carbon. The answer is carbon. Why the carbon? Because sodium, aluminum and carbon, these are in sodium, aluminum and carbon, these are in first group. So these are all in third period. So sodium, that is having the electronic configuration. So 11, atomic number is 11. So 2, 8, 1, right? So all these are the third period. So all these are present in third period, that is sodium, aluminum and chlorine. These are present in third period, but carbon, the atomic number of carbon is 2 and 4. Atomic number is 6. So you see, that is the electronic configuration of carbon is 2 and 4. Means what? It is in second period. So carbon is present in second period. So sodium, aluminum, chlorine, these are in third period. These are the elements of third period, but carbon is the element which is present in second period. So carbon is odd one. Okay. Now next is what? Solve the following question. Second one, complete the correlation. So correlation is what? For the convex magnifying glass 2f1, answer is image. Where image is formed? The object is placed where it is 2f1. When the magnifying glass is 2f1, when the object is placed in 2f1, the image which is formed is at 2f2. And where the object is placed on f1, where is the image? So where is the image? The answer is image on the opposite side at infinity. So lens is, remember this lens is this lens is convex lens. Now convex magnifying glass where 2f1 images form in opposite side, that is the 2f2, and when the object is placed on f1, the image is also on the opposite side at the infinity. So answer is image on the opposite side at infinity. Now next question, that is the third. To write the following statement correctly, the deviation of the yellow light is the lowest when the white light is removed by the glass prism. Now student, here this question carries the 2 marks because the question is write the following statement correctly. So answer for the true or false 1 mark, and for the statement 1 mark. So it carries 2 marks. So write the following statement correctly. So deviation of yellow light is lowest when the white light is removed by the glass prism. Now in your question paper, the question is wrong. That is, the deviation of yellow light is the lowest when the white light is removed by the glass pendulum. There is no glass pendulum. This is the glass prism. Okay. So deviation of yellow light is lowest when the white light is removed by the glass prism. So answer the statement is wrong. So statement is false. So first write this statement is false. This statement is wrong. So what is the right? Now what is the right statement? Now look at the diagram. This is your glass prism. When you incident the light rays, that is the white ray beam, when it get incident on the prism, it having the spectrum, that is the different bands of color. So it deviates, disperse into different types of colors. So white light, when incident on the prism, the rays corresponding to different color bands through the different angles on the refraction. So there is a refraction. Now because of the refraction, there is a band of spectrum. So it get dispersed into different colors. So 7 colors, that is your rainbow colors. Okay. And here the red light bend the least and the violet light bends the most. So right answer is what? The deviation of red light is the lowest. Okay. So red light bends the least and the violet light bends the most. So when the light rays or white light beam incident on the prism, it deviates, that the red light is the lowest when the white light removed by the glass prism. So the right answer is red light, not a yellow light. Okay. Now next is what? Next, match the pair. In your question paper, there is a wrong statement. Column 1 in your question paper, the column A indicates specific heat dissipation, and second one indicates the units of specific undetectable heat. But specific heat dissipation is what? Is when the substance is uh, transfer from, means state will be changed from one substance to another, means from liquid to solid or solid to liquid. The specific, because of the temperature, if you hit that object, the state will be changed. So that is nothing but the specific heat dissipation. So object will be changed. So object change its state when we hit that object, or when we hit that substance. So that is the specific heat dissipation, means what? Latent heat. So latent heat of vaporization, latent heat of fusion. So column A and column B, the column A in your question paper, that 2 points are wrong. So for right points are specific heat capacity and second one is heat. So column A having the 2 points, that is the first is specific heat capacity and the heat. And in column B, it having the calorie per gram, degree Celsius, and calorie multiplied by gram. Now, what is the right answer? So specific heat capacity, the unit of specific heat capacity is calorie per gram degree Celsius, and unit of heat is calorie. Okay. Now in SI unit of specific heat capacity, that is the kilocalorie per kilogram Kelvin, heat is kilocalorie or joule. Okay. So right answer of this question is match the pair. Specific heat capacity, the unit of specific heat capacity is calorie per gram degree Celsius, and unit of heat is calorie. So this is the right answer. Now this question having the 1 mark, it carries the 1 mark, half of marks for each match. Okay, so specific heat capacity, if you write the right answer, that is the specific heat capacity, that answer is calorie per gram degree Celsius, that carries the half mark, and heat, the unit of heat is calorie, it carries the half mark. Now next question is what? Now question number 2A. Question number 2A, it carries the 4 marks. Now this question having the scientific reason, that question having the scientific reason. So write question number 2A, give the scientific reasons, any two. Now any two, you have to write the two questions, or you have to solve the two questions. Each question carry the 2 marks. So total number of marks are 4. Now the give scientific reason, you have to write only 2. Now first question of this scientific reason means of this question number 2A is, first is yellow flame appears in the ignition of naphthalene. Yellow flame appears in the ignition of naphthalene. Now naphthalene balls, which are the unsaturated compound. So answer is naphthalene is unsaturated compound. In unsaturated hydrocarbons, the proportion of carbon is larger than that of the saturated hydrocarbons. As a result, some unburnt carbon particles are also formed during combustion of unsaturated compounds. In the flame, these unburnt hot carbon particles emit yellow light, and therefore the flame appears yellow. Hence, the naphthalene burns with a yellow flame. Now, student, unsaturated carbon compounds, that is the double bond structure or triple bond structure. So, naphthalene is having the unsaturated compound. It is a unsaturated compound. Now, saturated compound means saturated hydrocarbons which are having single bond. So, carbon-carbon single bond, that is the saturated hydrocarbons, carbon-carbon double or triple bond, that is your unsaturated hydrocarbons. Now, naphthalene is a unsaturated compound. Okay. Now, some unburnt particles are also forming during the combustion, and because of this, because of the unburnt hot carbon particles, this naphthalene ball emits the light that is in yellow color. Okay, so naphthalene burns with the yellow flame. So this is your right answer. Now second question is what? Second question of scientific reason, that is, on a cold day, the pipes in the cold region are likely to burst. Now you must have seen in also in if you kept some bottles in freezer, it get also cracks, right? It's having some cracks. If you remove that bottle, it shows, you will see the cracks. Now why? Because on a cold day, the pipes in the cold regions are likely to be burst. Now we know the temperature of density of water at a room temperature is 4 degrees Celsius. Now in a cold region in winter, the temperature of atmosphere falls below the 0 degrees Celsius. When the temperature of water falls below 4 degrees Celsius, it expands. So this is the anomalous behavior of water. So when the water falls, when the temperature of water falls below the 4 degrees Celsius, it get expand. So the density of that water increases, and hence the water in the pipe expands. Even if ice is formed, there is an increase in the volume. As there is no room for expansion, water or ice, it exerts large pressure on the pipe, and hence the pipelines carrying water burst. So this is the anomalous behavior of water, where the pipe, the water which is in pipe that expands, that is the anomalous behavior, density increases, and because of that the pipeline carries water burst. So in cold region, the pipe in the core region are likely to be burst. So this is the answer of this question. Now next question is what? Third question is, when a stone and the bird feather are released from the same height at the same time, the stone comes down faster than the feather. Now students, this is the question from first chapter, gravitation. So motion of body falling in air is accelerated due to the earth gravitational force on the body. Now there is a gravitational force. Because of the gravity, the motion of the body falling in the air is accelerated due to the gravitational force, and the force due to the buoyancy of air acts on the body in upward direction. So air, because of the that force which is created by the air, so air also creates some force on that object. Okay, so two forces are there. One is the earth, which accelerate the gravitational force. Because of the gravitational force, that object falls down. But second force is because of the air. So air acts, or force which is acted by the air, this acts on the body or the on the object in upward direction. As the body falls, the friction with the air opposes its motion. So because of the force which is applied by the air, it opposes the motion of that object, and this opposition due to the air depends on the size, shape, density, and velocity of that body. Okay, so stone which is having different size, mass, it having the mass, it having the weight, shape is there. It totally depends on the size, shape, density, and velocity of that body. So stone having greater pressure or greater force, greater velocity, it is the greater for the feather than for a stone. So stone has greater downward acceleration than the feather. So mass is different. The stone and bird feather having different mass, different size, different shape. So velocity of stone is greater than the bird's feather. So answer is what? The motion of the body falling in the air is accelerated due to the earth gravitational force on the body. The force due to the buoyancy of earth air acts on the body in the upward direction. As the body falls, the friction with the air opposes its motion. Second point is, this opposition due to the air depends on the size, shape, density, and velocity of the body. It is greater for a feather than for a stone. Hence, the stone has greater downward acceleration than the feather. Now, next question of question number A. Question number 2B. Now let us start with the question number 2B, that is the sub question of question number 2. So question number 2 having two sub questions, question number 2A and question number 2B. 2A, which is having gives the question, that is the give scientific reason. Now let us start with the question number 2B. Now this question number 2B carries it carries the marks, that is the 6 marks. It carries the 6 marks. So you have to solve the 3 questions. Each question carry 2 marks. So question number 2B, that is the solve the following questions. We have to solve only 3 questions. Each carry 2 marks. Now let us start with the question number 2B. Solve the following questions, any 3. Each carry 2 marks. Okay. Now, first question of this question number 2B, that is, what is mirage, and explain under what circumstances the mirage appears. Now, this question having two questions. First is what is mirage and explain under what circumstances the mirage appears. Now first, what is mirage? So due to the changes in refraction of light, the light rays coming from the distant object appear to be coming from an image of that object inside the ground. This is called as mirage. Now, student, there is no need to draw the diagram. Now, mirage, it is only because of the refraction of light. Okay. Now here, look at the diagram. There is the refraction and reflection. Okay, so internal reflection, and because of the refraction, that mirage, it looks that image which is formed of that object, it looks that it creates from inside the ground. So due to the changes in the refraction of light, the light rays coming from the distant object appears to be coming from the image of the object inside the ground. This is called as mirage. Now we know what is reflection when the light rays bends from, or when the light rays passes from one medium to another medium. So it gets bends away from the normal, or it gets bends towards the normal rays. Now at what circumstances the mirage appears? When the earth's surface is heated by the sun, the temperature of air increases. This produces the layer of hot air of lower density and lower refractive index at the surface. Now that this mirage is only because of this mirage appears because of the refraction of light. Now two types of mediums, hot air and cool air. So cool air on upper side of our environment consists of cool air, and second layer, that is your hot air. So two layers, two mediums are there. When the light rays passes from the cool air to the hot air, means mediums are different. So cool air, that is having dust particles. Okay, so cool air is having more density than the hot air. So when the earth's surface is heated by the sun, the temperature of air increases. This produces the layer of hot air of lower density and the lower refractive index at the surface. So two types of layer, cool air and hot air layer. Now cool air having higher density, hot air having lower density. When the light rays get refracted, or when light rays passes from the cool air to the hot air, means from denser medium to rare medium, the refracted rays always bends away from the normal. Okay, so it bends, it changes its direction. So hot air works as an optically rare medium, and cool air works as optically denser medium. And when the temperature changes rapidly in a vertical direction, the refraction of light takes place and the angle of refraction changes continuously. Okay, so because of the when the light get passes through the air medium, that is the cool to hot air and then cool air. So refraction also changes. The rays of light rays from top of an object such as car or trees cross the rays from the bottom of the object on their way to the observer eyes. Hence, the inverted image is formed below the object's true position and downward towards the surface in the direction of the air at the high temperature. So here is the refraction and reflection. So both phenomenon occurs in mirage, that is the refraction and the reflection. So in this case, some rays of light bend back up into the denser air and Mirage produces the impression of water near the hot ground. Okay, so this is the answer that explain the under what circumstances the mirage appears. Now next question is what? Second question of question number 2b, that is, this is your numerical example is there, numerical question is there. So two tungsten bulbs run at the potential difference of 220 volt. They are 100 watt and 60 watt each. So potential difference is given and also power, that is 100 watt and 60 watt. If they are connected in parallel, what will be the current in the main conductor? So given is here P1 and P2. P1 is 100 watt, P2 is 60 watt, and potential difference, that is 220 watt, 220 volt. Now potential difference is same because this is the parallel series. These are connected in parallel, so potential difference is same. So V is 220 volt. And what about the current? That is the, according to Ohm's law, that is the I is equal to P upon V, that is your formula. Now here current, it is I1 and I2 because it is parallel in series, so current is I1, I2, I3 dash dash, and P1 is also P1, P2, P3, P4. Now students, the current in the main conductor, we know I is equal to I1 plus I2. So parallel connection is there. So I is equal to I1 and I2. Find out the current. So what is the current here? If they are connected in parallel series, so what will be the current in the main conductor? So I is equal to I1 plus I2. Put up the values of I1 and I2, that is the P1 upon V plus P2 upon V. Now V is common, so put up the values of P1 and P2, that is 100 watt and the 60 watt upon 220 volt. Now solve this, we get the answer, that is the 0.727 in round figure, that is 0.73 ampere. So unit is compulsory. Okay, so this question carry 2 marks. Now next question is what? Third question, demonstrate how copper is extracted from sulphide ore with the help of the chemical reaction. So this is the question of your lesson metallurgy. So extract the sulphide ores. So copper is extracted from the sulphide ores with the help of the chemical reaction. So copper is found in cuprous sulphide, that is, it is found as a cuprous sulphide. So answer is copper is found as a cuprous sulphide, that is Cu2S in nature. When Cu2S, that is cuprous sulphide, heated in air, copper is obtained. So question, or how the copper is extracted from the sulphide ores, and reaction is twice Cu2S, that is in solid form, plus thrice O2. Oxygen is there when cuprous sulphide is get heated. When it is heated, we get the copper. Now reaction is when there is a chemical reaction, they both the chemically reacted, the cuprous sulphide react with the oxygen, it will forms the product, that is the cuprous oxide. So combination reaction or oxidation reaction, because the oxygen is there, when the oxygen get react with any compound, it will, there is oxidation reaction, and we get the product, that is the twice Cu2O plus twice SO2, sulfur dioxide, that is in the form of gas. So cuprous oxide and sulfur dioxide. When again we heated up the cuprous oxide, so cuprous oxide plus cuprous sulphide, both are heated. When they will get react, they both get heated, and if you hit both the reactant, we will get the product, that is the 6Cu copper plus sulfur dioxide. So copper, which is found as a cuprous sulfide in nature, and we get the copper when you heated up the cuprous sulfide. Okay, so this is the reaction, how the copper is extracted from the sulfide ore with the help of the chemical reaction. Now next question is state Mendeleev's periodic law. State Mendeleev's periodic law. Answer is when the elements are arranged in order of their increasing atomic masses. Mendeleev found that the elements are with similar physical and chemical properties repeat after a definite interval. On the basis of this finding, Mendeleev started the periodic law. So statement is that the physical and chemical properties of elements are periodic functions of their atomic masses. Now Mendeleev arranged all the elements in increasing order of atomic masses. So according to their physical and chemical properties, the Mendeleev arranged the elements in order to their increasing atomic masses. So statement is the physical and chemical properties of elements are a periodic function of their atomic masses. So this is the Mendeleev's periodic table. Okay. Now this is the Mendeleev periodic law. Now next question is, this is our last question of question number 2B. What are the objectives of space mission? Now you have to note down here 4 objectives. You have to write down the 4 objectives. Each carry half mark. So 4 objectives of this space mission. So what is the answer? Man initially tried to satisfy his curiosity to know the world and universe beyond the earth with the help of the telescope. However, it has some obvious limitations, and to overcome these limitations, man later ventured into space mission having the 4 objectives. Okay, so specific 4 objectives are there. Now, first is what? To launch the artificial satellite in the Earth's orbit for study and research. So this each objectives carry 4 half marks. So 4 objectives each carry half marks. So to launch artificial satellite in the Earth orbit for study and research. This is your first objective. Second is to launch artificial satellite in the Earth orbit for telecommunication, weather forecast, radio, and TV program. Okay, so this is your second objective. Third one is to send artificial satellite beyond the Earth orbit to observe, study, and collect the information from other planets, meteoroids, asteroids, and comets. And last one is to understand space beyond the solar system. Now, these are the objectives of space mission. Now, next is question number 3. Now, student, question number 3. Solve the following questions. You have to solve the 5 questions. Each carry 3 marks. Okay. So, total marks are for 15. Each carry 3 marks. You have to solve the 5 questions. The first question, match the following table. Now in the table, there is a reaction, product, and chemical reaction. That is the type of reaction. Chemical reaction type, that is type of reaction. Now reaction is Fe plus S, CuSO4 plus Zn, then twice Cu plus O2. Product has been given here, that is twice CuO, then ZnSO4 plus Cu, FeS. Now type of reaction here, oxidation, displacement, and combination. Now you have to match this table. Now what is the reaction? That is Fe plus S. Now this is your reaction. The answer is Fe plus S. When get react, it will form the product, that is the FeS. Now this is the combination product. When two elements or two compounds when react, it will form the, it combine from a one single product, that is the combination reaction. Okay. Second one is CuSO4 plus Zn. It form the product, that is the ZnSO4 plus Cu. Now this is your displacement reaction. Only one reactant it get displayed. So compound one, only one compound, that element get displaced, and this is the displacement reaction. Now third reaction, that is the twice Cu plus O2. Now student, here O2 oxygen is there. Now oxygen gets react with that copper element and it will get oxidized. So oxidation reaction is there and it will form the product, that is the twice CuO. So these are the reactions and this is your answer. That is the first product is FeS. Second is ZnSO4 plus Cu, Fe, and the third one is twice CuO. First type of reaction, that is the combination reaction. Second one is displacement reaction and third one is oxidation reaction. So right answer is this one. Now next question is what? Question number 3. Having the second question, that is name the different orbits of satellite shown in the figure and write the height of the orbit from this surface. Now look at the diagram A, B, C. It indicates the 3 orbits. Now name the different orbits of this satellite. Okay. Now what is the answer? So these are the 3 types of orbits, that is the low Earth orbit, medium Earth orbit, and high Earth orbit. Okay. So low Earth orbit, the distance of this orbit is very less. It's just above the Earth's surface. That is the height of low Earth orbit is about 180 kilometer to 2000 kilometer. So 3 types of orbit: low Earth orbit, medium Earth orbit, and high Earth orbit. Now low Earth orbit, height above the Earth's surface, that is 180 kilometer to 2000 kilometer. Now medium Earth orbit, height of this Earth orbit is it's just above the Earth's surface, that is the 2000 kilometer to 35,780 kilometer. Okay. So that is the height of medium Earth orbit. Now last one is what? High Earth orbit. High Earth orbit, that is the height from the Earth's surface is greater than the 35,780 kilometers. Okay. So Earth orbit, these are 3 types of Earth orbit, that is the low Earth orbit, that is the medium Earth orbit, and the high Earth orbit. Okay. So these are the orbits of the satellite. Okay. And heights of that orbit from the surface, the low Earth orbit having 180 to 2000 kilometer, medium having 2000 to 35,780 kilometer, and high Earth orbit that is greater than the 35,780 kilometer. Now next question of question number 3 is write the answer from the given description. Now first question, that is a period with the electrons in a shell KLM. Second question is the family of non-metal having valency 1. Third one is the family of metal having valency 1. Then family of metal having valency 2. Then the group of zero valency, and last one is non-metals in the third period. Now first question, that is a period with the electrons in the shell KLM. Now this period that is consists of three shells, that is K, L, M. Now three shells means third period. So period with electrons in a shell carries three shells. So why first, second, third? So number of period indicates that period. Number of period that indicates because of the shell. So number of shell is equal to number of period. Okay. So if the shell is first, means period is first. If there are two shells, means second period. If there are three shells, means third period. Okay. So one shell, first period. Two shells, second period. Three shells means third period. So first question, the answer of first question is third period, because a period with electrons in the shell K, L, M. So three shells are there, means third period. Now second one is what? The family of non-metals having valency 1. Now family of non-metals having valency 1, that is the halogen family. Okay, that is the your halogen family. Now halogen family, that is fluorine, then fluorine. Okay, so halogen family is there. Now next is what? Next question, a family of metal having valency 1. A family of metal having valency 1. A family of metal having valency 1 means what? Outermost shell having only one electron, right? So family of metal having valency 1. So if the outermost shell having consist of only one electron, means that is group 1. So metals, these are the S block elements. All metals having S block elements. So family of metal having only one valency, outermost shell consists of only one electron, so there is a group 1. The family of metal having two valency means in the outermost shell of that atom consists of two electrons, means that is group 2. So third answer is family of metal having valency 1, that is having in group 1. All the metals are of group 1. The family of metal having valency 2 means that answer is group 2. Outermost shell consists of two electrons, so that is group 2. Now the group with zero valency means these are the inert gases, noble gases. So noble elements are there. The group of with zero valency, these are the inert gases or noble elements are there. So these are the group 18. Okay, zero group, that is the 18 group. And sixth one is what? Sixth one is non-metals in the third period. Now third period that consists of sodium, aluminum, magnesium, silicon, that are the metals. But non-metals in third period, that is the phosphorus, sulfur, fluorine, and argon. These are the non-metals in the third period. Okay. Now next question, of question number 3, that is observe the figure below and write the answer to the question asked. Now look at the diagram, student. This is the defect of eye. It shows the defect in the eye. What is the defect shown in the figure? Now look at the diagram. The image which is formed is behind the retina. Okay, it is behind the retina, means this defect is hypermetropia or farsightedness. Remember, three types of defect: myopia, hypermetropia, and presbyopia. Now, when the image which is formed in front of retina, when the image is formed in front of retina, that defect is myopia. And when the image is formed behind the retina, that is hypermetropia. So questions are, what is the defect shown in the figure? What are the possible causes of this visual impairment? And write briefly how this visual impairment is fixed. Okay. So what is the answer? First answer is first point, hypermetropia or farsightedness, as it indicates the image which is formed behind the retina. So this defect of vision is hypermetropia or farsightedness. Okay. Now, where in this the human eye can see distant objects clearly, but is unable to see nearby object clearly. Now, question, that is the second point, that what are the possible causes of visual impairment? What are the possible causes, possible reasons of hypermetropia? First is curvature of cornea and the eye lens decreases. Then hence the converging power of eye lens becomes less. So curvature of cornea increases. Sorry, curvature of cornea and eye lens decreases. Because of that, converging power of lens decreases and image which is formed is behind the retina. Now, the distance between the eye lens and the retina decreases, right? So distance decreases and the image gets formed behind the retina, and the focal length of eye lens becomes very large due to the flattening of the eyeball. So these are the possible causes because of the hypermetropia. So curvature of cornea and the eye lens decreases. Converging power of eye lens become less. Distance between the eye lens and the retina decreases, and the focal length of eye lens become very large due to the flattening of eyeball. Now, third question is that what are the possible write briefly how this visual impairment is fixed. Now, answer is hypermetropia is corrected by using suitable convex lens. So convex lens is used to correct the hypermetropia. Now light rays are converged by the convex lens before they strike the eye lens. A convex lens of proper focal length is chosen to produce the required convergence. Hence, after the converging action of eye lens, the image is formed on the retina. Okay. So you have to draw the diagram first. You have to find out the defect. Draw the diagram. Your diagram is there. Near point of hypermetropic eye. Then use the convex lens to correct the hypermetropia. So hypermetropia is corrected by using the convex lens. So light ray which get passes to the lens. It get converged because of the convex lens. And image is formed on the retina because of the converging action. So this is your answer of this question. Now next question is what? A glass slab with refractive index of N1 is placed in the glass slab with refractive index N2, and if N1 is greater than the N2, and complete the following diagram. Now here diagram is given where the incident rays are there. You have to complete the diagram. First question is what? A glass slab with refractive index of N1 is placed in the glass slab with the refractive index in N2, and if N1 is greater than N2. Now students, we know the medium, when the medium changes, the refractive index changes, and also there is a it forms the refracted rays which having the different angles. Now let us have a look the answer first. That is, the answer is when the if the refractive index of first medium is greater than that of the second medium, the ray bends away from the normal. The first medium is greater than the second medium. The refractive index of first medium is greater than the second medium, means the ray passes from denser medium to rare medium. Okay. So if refractive index of first medium is greater than that of the second medium, the ray bends away from the normal at the point of incidence as it travels from the first medium, that is your denser medium, to the second medium, that is your rare medium. The angle of refraction R is greater than that of the angle of incidence, right? So angle of incidence is greater. Why? Because the light rays, when passes from denser medium to rarer medium, the refracted ray bends away from the normal. So angle of refraction is must be greater than the angle of incidence. Now your three diagrams in your question paper, it may here mention the three diagrams. So look at the diagram. First diagram, that is the A. Now here is the rarer medium to rarer medium and the denser medium. The light rays passes from rarer medium to denser medium. So incident rays, when passes from the rarer medium to denser medium, the light rays passes from rarer medium to denser medium. What will happen? The light rays, that refracted rays, bends towards the normal. When it bends towards the normal, so the angle of refraction is less than the angle of incidence. So in first diagram. Second diagram is what? When the first medium, that is your rarer medium and denser medium here. Now in second diagram, when the light rays passes from denser medium to rarer medium. So first is your denser medium and second one is rarer medium. When the light rays passes from denser medium to rarer medium, then the refracted ray bends away from the normal. So angle of refraction is always greater than the angle of incidence. Okay. Now last third diagram, that indicates what? Here there is a no refraction. When the light rays is incident normally at the boundary between two media, it does not change its direction. So there is no refraction here. So angle is 90 degree. It forms the angle, that is 90-degree angle, and there is no refraction. So when there is no refraction, there is a light rays in I is equal to R. Okay. So angle of incidence is equal to angle of refraction. So light rays, when it is passes through the normally, it incident normally at the boundary between two media, it does not change its direction. So this is the answer of question number 3, fifth. Okay. Now next is sixth number question, that is briefly describe the Hall's processes used for the bauxite coagulation. Bauxite coagulation, that is the bauxite concentration. So this is the extraction of aluminum. Now from the metallurgy chapter, so two types of process for extraction of aluminum: Bayer's process and Hall's process. Okay. So bauxite ore, it consists of that bauxite ore is there, that is the Al2O3 dot H2O, twice H2. That is your bauxite ore. Okay. So we get the pure alumina from the bauxite ore because of the two processes, Bayer's process and Hall's process. Now question asked for the Hall's processes, right? So in Hall's processes, sorry, Hall's process. What is the answer? In Hall's processes, In Hall's process, the ore, that is your bauxite ore, is powdered and then it is leached by heating with aqueous sodium carbonate in the digester to form water soluble sodium aluminate. Then the insoluble impurities are filtered out. The filtrate is warmed and neutralized by passing carbon dioxide gas through it. This result is precipitation of aluminum hydroxide. Now look at the reaction. So bauxite ore when react with sodium carbonate. Now Al2O3 dot twice H2O, that is in the solid form, that is your bauxite ore, when get heated with sodium carbonate. Okay, so it get leached by the heating with the aqueous sodium carbonate. If we heated it up in the digester, it forms the water soluble sodium aluminate. So twice NaLO2, that is aqueous, right? Water soluble is there. So sodium aluminate is formed and also release the carbon dioxide gas plus twice H2O water. Okay. So this is your product. Now this sodium aluminate again get filtered, get neutralized by passing through the carbon dioxide gas. Again, we pass this carbon dioxide gas here. By passing the carbon dioxide gas through it, what we will get here, that is aluminum hydroxide. So twice LOH3 precipitate from, arrow indicates the downward direction, arrow indicates precipitation, right? So precipitation of aluminum hydroxide plus sodium carbonate. Okay. Now this aluminum hydroxide, it get obtained in both Bayer's and Hall's process. It get filter, this aluminum hydroxide get filter, wash, dry and calcinated by heating under the 1000 degrees Celsius to obtain the pure alumina. So by filtering this precipitate, wash it dry, and because of the calcination process, by heating this aluminum hydroxide, we get the pure alumina, that is Al2O3 plus thrice H2O. So this is your Hall's process. Now next question is what? Next question, that is seventh question. Explain the process of corrosion on iron by completing the blank by writing the correct answer. Suggest solution to prevent this process. Rust on iron is formed by the reaction. Now reaction is there. Now rusting is formed when iron, that is, it comes in contact with the moisture, comes in contact with the water vapor, air. Okay. So Fe plus water, there is a electrolysis, small electrolysis process. Okay. So dissociation of charges, it forms a charge on Fe and also water molecule. So reaction on the anode region and reaction on the cathode region. So Fe, that is solid form, it donates its electron, right? So donates its electrons, so it creates the charge, some charge, that is Fe2 plus twice 2 electrons. Now reaction on cathode region, that is oxygen plus 4H plus, gives what? So fill up this blank. When the Fe2 plus ions migrate from anode region to cathode, when react with water molecule and when it release some charge, that is Fe3 plus ions, and reddish color hydrated oxide is formed. So oxidation reaction is there. Because of the oxidation reaction, it creates some ions, that is called as rusting. So it is the slow process of rusting when it comes in contact with the air, when it comes in contact with the water molecules. So Fe3 plus 4H2O. So let us have a look towards the answer. So answer is what? So reaction on anode region, that is Fe release some electrons. If it donates the electrons, that is Fe2 plus 2 electrons. Reactions on cathode region, that is O2 plus 4H plus 4 electrons, it will form the water molecule, that is the twice H2O. Now when the Fe2 plus ion migrates from anode region, they react with water molecule to form the Fe3 plus ions. Now reddish colored hydrated oxide is formed from Fe3 plus ion. It is called as the rust. Now reaction is that Fe3 plus twice Fe3 plus 4H2O gives rise to Fe2O3 dot H2O plus 6 plus. This is nothing but your rusting. So rust formula of rust, that is the Fe2O3 dot H2O. Okay, and a way to prevent the rusting. To prevent the rusting is prevented by the coloring with acrylic paint. So iron rod can be prevent from the rusting because of the coloring with acrylic paint, then zinc plating, galvanizing, anodizing, alloying. These are the methods to prevent the rusting. So these are the methods of to prevent the rusting of iron rod. So coloring, painting, zinc plating, galvanizing, anodizing, and alloying, etc. Okay. Now next is what? Question number 4. Question number 4, you have to solve only one question. Each question carry 5 marks. You have to solve only one question from the question number 4. Now question number 4, that is solve the following question. Now solve the following question. First question is what? Study the following principle and write the answer to question asked. Now here small paragraph, that is under the influence of magnetic field, a force is created on the conductor. The direction of this force depends on both the direction of the current and the direction of the magnetic field. When the direction of the current is perpendicular to the direction of the magnetic field, this force is greatest. So this is a paragraph. Now, on the basis of this paragraph, there are some questions. Look at there. First question is this: on the basis of which rule can be direction of force generated on the electric conductor be determined? Next question is what? This principle is used in which electrical appliance? Third one is draw a diagram showing the design of that device. And fourth one is, that is write the function or write the working of that device briefly. Okay. Now, first is the paragraph. It shows the under the influence of magnetic field, a force is created on the conductor. So magnetic force is created on the conductor, and all these are the perpendicular to each other. When the magnetic, because of the influence of the magnetic field, a force is created on the conductor. Now this rule is your Fleming's left hand rule. Okay. So first answer, look at the answer. First answer is what? The Fleming's left hand rule. Now we know the Fleming's left hand rule. All when you stretch your left hand fingers, that is all these fingers are perpendicular to each other. Now your thumb, forefinger and your middle finger, all these fingers are perpendicular to each other, and the force here, it creates the magnetic force, then it creates direction of, it shows the direction of current, and also it creates the magnetic field. So all these are perpendicular to each other. Okay. So Fleming's left hand rule. So if you stretch your thumb, index finger, or forefinger or middle finger in such way that all fingers are perpendicular to each other, then index finger or forefinger shows the point out the direction of magnetic field. Your middle finger points the direction of current, and the direction of thumb indicates the direction of the force on the conductor. Okay, so this paragraph indicates the rule, that is Fleming's left hand rule. Now question is what? Second question is, this principle is used in which electrical appliances? Now electric motor, that we know the electric motor where the electric current is converted into magnetic current. So when the process where the device which converts the electric energy into mechanical energy is called as electric motor, right? So device which converts electric energy into mechanical energy. So force which is applied to change the energy, to change the electric energy into mechanical energy. So that appliances, that device is used, that is electric motor. Now third question is what? Third question is, draw a diagram showing the design of that device. So this is your design of electric motor where it having two poles, that is north, two types of magnets, north pole, it indicates the north pole, and the south pole. Okay, so shoe magnet, horseshoe magnet is there. Now next is, second one is what? Here rectangle loop like structure, that is called as axle. Okay, now it consists of a split rings it for connection of the electricity. So it connect the electricity from battery to axle. Then it consists of a two carbon brushes, so XY brush. Then it consists of a circuit. So this is the structure of electric motor. Now fourth question is what? Fourth question, write the function of that device briefly. Write the working of electric motor or write the function of electric motor. So what is the working or function of electric motor? When the circuit is completed, the current flows in the branch AB of loop from A to B through carbon brushes E and F. Then since the direction of electromagnetic field from north pole to south pole according to the Fleming's left hand rule, the force is exerted on the branch AB in downward direction, and thus the loop and the axle start rotating in an anti-clockwise direction. So half rotation is there, and the current in a loop start flowing in the direction DCBA. Therefore, force is exerted on the branch CD in downward direction and on the branch AB in upward direction. The loop continues to rotate in the anti-clockwise direction. Now thus the current in the loop is reversed after each half rotation, and the loop and the axle continue to rotate in the anti-clockwise direction. So this is your working or function of an electric motor. Now last question of question number 4, that is, what is covalent bond? Explain it with the following examples. How is a hydrogen molecule formed? Describe the formation of oxygen molecule. Describe the formation of nitrogen molecule. First answer is, what is meant by the covalent bond? Covalent bond is nothing but the sharing of electrons. Now what is the definition of covalent bond? That is the chemical bond formed by the sharing of two valence electrons between two atoms is called as covalent bond. Okay. Now example is oxygen molecule, nitrogen, methane. So these are the examples of the uh, covalent bonding. Now let's have a look. How is the hydrogen molecule formed? First question. How is hydrogen molecule formed? Atomic number of hydrogen is 1. To complete its octet, to complete its electronic configuration, it required one more electron. So it get bonded with the another hydrogen molecule. So two hydrogen molecules are there, two atoms of hydrogen, which consist of one electron in their outermost shell. Okay. So to complete its electronic configuration, it bonded with each other. So there is a sharing of electrons. Okay. So sharing of electrons is there and it forms a H2 molecule having a single bond. Okay. So atomic number of hydrogen is 1. The atom contains one electron in K shell. It requires one more electron to complete the K shell and attain the configuration of helium. To meet this requirement, two hydrogen atoms share their electrons with each other to form a hydrogen molecule. One covalent bond, that is single bond, is formed between two hydrogen atoms by sharing of two electrons. Okay, so each hydrogen molecule consists of one electron, that is its atomic number is 1. To complete its EC electronic configuration, it shares its electron to another molecule of hydrogen and form the hydrogen bonding. That is your covalent bonding. Now next example, that is the describe the formation of oxygen molecule. So oxygen, that is the atomic number of oxygen is 8. Okay. So it having the electronic configuration that is 2 and 6, means it consists of 6 electrons in their outermost shell. Now as to complete its octet, it requires 2 more electrons. Okay, so atomic number of oxygen is 8. The electronic configuration of oxygen is 2, 6. So outermost electron, that outermost shell consists of 6 electrons and it requires 2 electrons to complete the L shell to attain the configuration of neon. Now, as it requires 2 electron more, so it shares its valence electron with another oxygen atom. To share electron, it forms the bonding. So it gives two shared pairs of electrons, which results in the formation of oxygen molecule. And thus, two electron pairs are shared between two oxygen atoms and forming the double covalent bonding. So double bonding is there. That is the double covalent bonding. So to look at bonding, single bonding, double bonding is there. That is the O2 molecule. Okay. So as it shares two electrons, there is a double bonding. Now this is the double covalent bond. Now next is what? Describe the formation of nitrogen molecule. Now student, in hydrogen molecule, there is a sharing of only one electron. So it consists of only single bond, right? In oxygen molecule, it shares the two electrons. Each oxygen having two electrons. Each oxygen required the two electrons more, so it shares the electron and forming a double bonding. Okay, so double covalent bonding. Now look at the nitrogen molecule. Now atomic number of nitrogen is 7. So electronic configuration it required, that is the electronic configuration of nitrogen is 2 and 5. In the outermost shell, our nitrogen consists of 5 electrons. So nitrogen has 5 electrons in their outermost shell, and nitrogen requires 3 more electrons to complete its electronic configuration, to complete its octet. So to complete its octet, it requires 3 more electrons. So it requires 3 more electrons to complete this L shell and to attain the configuration of neon. So two nitrogen atoms comes close to each other and shares three pairs of electrons with each other, resulting in the formation of triple bond. So triple bond structure is there. So thus two nitrogen atoms are bonded with a triple bond to form a nitrogen molecule. So here is also sharing of electrons. So because of the sharing of electron, it having the triple bonding structure. Okay. So single bonding structure, that is hydrogen molecule, double bonding structure, that is the oxygen molecule, and triple bonding structure, that is your nitrogen molecule. So these are the example of the covalent bonding. Okay. So student, here we complete the our fourth practice paper analysis. The analysis of practice paper